Hey, um, okay. I'll try to make a little video to show you this idea. Um, this is a chart that I made based on a chart from a solver that's elsewhere in this Range Trainer app, and this situation is when you have a potential squeeze. A squeeze is when there's a raise and a call before it gets to you. So, a pretty common situation in the live game. Okay? So, this is for use in live poker. Uh, and this chart is for when you are laying 4-1 or less by going all in. So, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If a guy opens to 15 and another guy calls, then the pot has $34 in it. There's his 15, the caller's 15, and the blinds. So there's 34. So if you have 100 in your stack, then if you went all in, you'd be risking 100 to win 34. Okay? So you'd be laying about 3-1 in that spot. And you could use this chart to do that. Okay? If the guy only opened to $10 and got one caller, then there'd be $24 in the pot. And a $100 stack would be about 4 times that pot. So you'd be laying 4-1, and you could also use this chart. Okay? What this chart says is the hands in red go all in, and everything else folds. Okay? And what are the hands in red? They're good to great pairs, so eights at a minimum, up to aces, and great high card hands like ace king off and ace king and ace queen suited. And then the rest of those are sort of like bluffs. The king 10 suited and the ace 9 suited are definitely bluffs. And then the other ones, hands like king queen suited and ace jack offsuit, you don't want to get called, but your hand is just so good and that you can lay that price, 3-1 or 4-1 on the pot, and the range that there's no way for the opponents to make that unprofitable for you. So your hand has just got a lot of equity, and by shoving it in, you just make sure that you realize all that equity. So this is a pretty simple chart, and I put it in this one here, PZ Study, which has all your opening ranges and stuff, and you can find it in the 35 big blind section. It's the only one in there. All these other ones are for 60 big blinds, these opening raise charts. But this one I called it cutoff squeezing versus middle position and hijack. All that means is it's not an exceptional case where the two ranges that you're up against are exceptionally tight. Like if it was under the two tight players, under the gun and under the gun +1, raise, call, or something, then you'd want to play slightly tighter than this. But in every other situation, you just use this chart, and it's good. It's a good chart. If you thought that this particular situation you're in is a little tighter than average, then you would just trim off the very bottom, the weakest box from each row. So you'd cut out the ace-9 suited, the pocket eights, the king-10 suited, and the ace-jack off. Okay? You'd have a slightly tighter chart, and that would be fine to do. Okay? So just like all situations in poker, it's a little bit, the situation's a little bit fluid, but this is a very good general chart. And if you can't say anything, if you don't have information about your opponents, you should just use this chart. Again, this is when there's a raise and a call from two other players. So there's two other people put in like 10 or 15 bucks each. And then it's on you with one of these very good hands. You can just go all in if you have around 100 bucks or definitely anything less. Okay? And that can be pretty useful. Remember that you can practice this. You can practice this chart. You could do it right before you go to play or whatever. And you do that by going to train my ranges. I'm going to click this hamburger menu over here, pre-flop ranges, train my ranges. So pre-flop ranges, train my ranges. Okay. Then I have to select the ranges to train. And I would select that one under PZ Study, 35 big blinds. And hit go. And then it gives me a hand. And you see the situation. The guy raised here. The guy called here. Now it's on you. You have pocket fours. Pocket fours is a fold. Ding. That's correct. Same situation. Pocket eights. Pocket eights is an all-in. It's the worst hand we would go all-in with. Ding. Pocket nines is an all-in. But if I click fold, it'll go Tell me I did it wrong. Jack 8 suited. Maybe I should call with it? I don't know. No, that's wrong because there's no calling in this situation. When you have 100 and it goes 15 bucks call, you can't set mine. You don't want to call with anything. You want to either fold or go all in. So ace queen suited, definitely good enough to go all in with. Sixes fold, king queen off fold, queen 10 off fold, king 7 suited fold, 7-6 suited fold, ace 8 suited not quite good enough, ace 9 suited is the minimum. Fold, fold, ace is obviously all in. Nope. Ace queen off, yes. Ace 10 off, no. Ace jack off is the worst offsuit ace. Queens all in. Queen 8 suited, fold. King jack suited, yes. This is one of our middling ones where it's not like, we're definitely not hoping to get called, but if we do get called, it's going to be okay. Or we're going to have enough equity often enough. So it's an all in. Fold, fold, kings all in, fold, fold, close one, fold, fold, ace jack suited all in, fours fold, king 7 suited, queen 9 suited fold, ace king off all in. You get the picture. Okay. It's kind of fun. Slightly too weak. King 10 suited is the weakest bluff. King jack off, no question. Okay. So that's how that works. And I'll go back to the chart. Actually, I think I can just do it this way. View. Yeah, you could screenshot this right now and then crop it or however you want to do it, make it bigger so you you have this image. And the reason some of them are black and some of them are white of the hands that we fold over here is just, those are all folds. I just black the, I don't know if you've used this or not, but I think you have. The blacked out ones, it won't quiz you on those because they're just too easy. So it just doesn't ask you. And that's, I had to select all those. Like, don't bother asking him these ones. Okay. Okay, that's it. So there's the situation. Again, that is for when they raise to either $10 or $15 and somebody calls and it's on you and you have about 100 or less. Okay? That's how that is. Okay. Good luck with that.